Yo, what's up, guys? You guys Shinobi here, back again with another video for you guys. And today, just found this video while scrolling around, and we're gonna be reacting to the Act Man. I haven't reacted to a video of his in a long. Actually, I don't think I've reacted to a video of his at all. I'm gonna be real. This is probably the first time I've actually done this, but we were taking a look of why gamers are upset with the Switch 2, and I'm gonna be real with all the tariffs and whatnot running around. And the $450 price tag, which I'm gonna be real, hilariously enough, is cheaper than the PS5 and and not the PS4. Yeah, the PS5 and the Xbox Series S on launch, because I'm pretty sure both of those were 500 at launch, if I'm correct. I might be wrong on that. I'm pretty sure both of those were 500 at launch. But the $90 price tag on some of these games is something else, man. It's why when I did my reaction to like the new Nintendo Switch and all that I was like, if they got some stuff that I want, then that I can't do on my old Nintendo Switch that I have currently, then yeah, I'll get it. But otherwise, no, because $80 for some of these games is crazy. And currently right now, as far as the new Switch is concerned, the only thing that got me hooked on it was the fact that I can play Pokemon XD, Pokemon Stadium, and the new Pokemon game that's coming out pretty soon, and it's actually going to look better on the Nintendo Switch 2 than it would on the regular Nintendo Switch, which is crazy. But other than that, I mean, maybe Mario Kart, though, to be honest, I have Mario Kart Deluxe, and I don't even play that as often anymore, so I can't even say it's because of Mario Kart. But we'll see. Either way, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let's go ahead and get straight into this, because let's just say the gaming family right now, and they ain't exactly as happy about especially the tariffs making this Switch a lot more expensive than it needs to be. All right, let's get it.
The Switch 2 has finally been announced and revealed to the world.
Let's get it.
Can you even believe it? A new Donkey Kong 3D platformer, one we haven't seen in 25 years. This is a dream come true. This is heaven.
I know the Donkey Kong fans. I'm gonna say I know the Donkey Kong fans are loving that.
New games, it's all gonna be available for the low price of what?
It ain't even gonna be a low price, bro.
And it's going to cost $450. $450. $450.
$450.
In this economy, which is crazy. $450 for this is crazy, because I'm pretty sure the Nintendo Switch originally is like $350. So this is like a $100 pretty much. Well, yeah, this is like a $100 up tick in price. But even still, as somebody who's bought both the PS5 and then I bought the Xbox Series S because I don't play it that much except for my Sword Online games. As somebody who's bought both of those consoles, especially the PS5, which was like $500 for me, it could have been a lot worse. They could have put this thing at $500 immediately. Now, obviously, we know about the tariffs, but
Outrageous.
I mean, it depends.
It's unfair.
And that's just for the console itself.
And me personally, $450 for a Nintendo Switch with all the stuff that it got on it, I don't think that's that bad. Me personally, the Switch price isn't the problem. It's the games that are the problem. Like, why the hell is Mario Kart Deluxe $90 if you want to buy it physical and $80 if you want to buy it digital?
For a Wii U, I made it run. Played some games in my
Also, the
time.
editing in this video is like top tier. I haven't watched an Act Man video in a while, but man, his editing just cooks.
Brother, can you spare a Switch?
What's up, everybody? This is the Homeless Man here, and today the Great Gamer Depression is upon us. This is my Great Depression outfit. I'm gonna take it off because it is.
I see the Master
obnoxiously
Chief helmet
hot,
in the
and
back
not just
too.
'cause
I'm
I'm
pretty
the
sure
one
he got
wearing
that
it.
sign too, which is crazy.
So in a 2-hour-long direct, Nintendo revealed the Switch 2 and all the different features. They gave us a ton of info on the system, its upgrades, downgrades, those are important, a few brand new launch titles to look forward to, and a whole bunch of third-party support. 8 years ago, the Switch came out and started a new generation of
That's
consoles.
crazy.
And
It's been 8 years, man, since like... It's been 8 years. That is crazy, man. Take me like how the time is flying by. That's
Is
crazy.
the dawn of a new generation. And would you look at that? The next Pokemon game looks like it's running off of a fucking game.
Yeah, well, keep in mind this is the Nintendo Switch edition, a Nintendo Switch 2 edition, my bad. So if you play it on Nintendo Switch, it might not look this crisp. I'm just gonna let y'all know.
A time that should be filled with excitement, nerdgasms, if you will. But alas,
Were it so easy.
That
Nintendo
clip can be
is
used in
asking
so many contexts.
you to drop $450 on a Switch 2. That is the baseline price for people in the US, though I'm sure it's all fucked up in different.
Oh, it's definitely fucked up. I've seen some crazy stuff on Twitter where like the Switch was like $800 or some shit. I was like, yo, these tariffs fucking these tariffs are fucking up everything for real.
countries as well.
Yeah, like look at that. Australian $700, Norway, and Mario Kart 102. 699 Canadian. Where are these people getting these prices? I mean, I know the tariffs are bad, but god damn. Why the fuck is Mario Kart $102? Oh hell no, bro.
People are understandably frustrated. What? Why? I thought you liked spending money. Don't ever stop consuming. You love consuming. Don't ever stop. But why exactly are gamers upset with the Switch 2 and with these price tags? Is it worth picking up? Do we even know if this will be the final price of the console? Is the price going to increase or decrease?
Because they're still trying to figure out the tariffs
in the US suddenly being
getting
delayed.
fucked up.
Who's fucking with my video games? God damn it! Now I do want to give my first impressions of the Switch 2 and talk about some of the more exciting stuff.
Introducing Game Chat with the
Bro, Mario Kart's about to be, like they're gonna. I don't know how they're gonna moderate this, bro. Mario Kart's about to be something else. Mario Kart about to be looking like the Call of Duty, fucking the Call of Duty and the Halo 3 group chats, bro. It's about to be
future.
wild.
You'll be able to communicate with friends and family while playing a game.
Yep, there it is. There it is. There it is.
But we'll have to do
Like
that
they showed that whole thing like it was about to be peaceful. It's like, oh yeah, you passed me. Nah, bro. It's about to be some beef up in there for real.
later in the video because right now we have to talk about the elephant in the room because
I don't know if they
Nintendo's
know what
first
they have.
live stream
I don't know
after
what
the
they did.
Direct, people were spamming.
Oh yeah,
lower
drop the
in
price. Yep.
chat. Obviously, this is the biggest talking.
I don't know what, bro. This shit was funny. You know what's funny? What's even more funny is I'm pretty sure during that live stream while people were raging like that, you know what they were doing? Nintendo. They played like the Me Shop music the whole time, bro. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, bro.
Point on the internet for the Switch 2. Not just the $450 price tag, but also brace yourselves.
Some games, including Mario Kart World, are going to be priced at $80 for the digital edition or $90 if you want to buy it.
And here's what I gotta say about this shit. So I know why they're doing this. They want the gaming world is trying to switch everything to digital because that's the way that they can change shit. And you don't truly own your games, which is why they're trying to switch away from physical. That's the reason why the digital costs more. I mean, the digital costs less than the physical. They are trying to force you with that $10 difference to buy the digital edition. Now, me personally, I buy digital and physical games. I have digital and physical games for my Nintendo. I don't have any for my PS5 or my Xbox because I'm not trying to keep up all those discs. I'm going to be real with you. I'm not trying to keep up all those discs. And yeah, no, I'm good on that. But I do understand why they are doing this. Now, with Xbox and PS5, it don't matter though. You know, maybe there's some deals online that you can get, but outside of that, it don't matter. But for this, it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know about this, Chief.
Physical.
Once I bought a GameCube, Luigi's Mansion, Melee, Wind Waker, and Prime. Once I bought a GameCube.
Editing going crazy right
Now
now.
it's done. Brother, can you spare a game?
The $80 cost of a game, a single game. Why are you
And the
upset?
thing is that people are, and this is like, bro, The thing is people actually, because let's be real, the people decide the market. Let's just get that out of the way right now. They put the stuff out, and we decide if we buy it or not. So if we actually start buying games like this that are like $80 to $90, then what's stopping other companies from making their games $80 to $90? Now, if I'm correct, not every game that's coming out on the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be $80 to $90. Pretty sure the Donkey Kong game is like 60 something. But even still, the fact that it's even being done, it's kind of like how I was talking about with Honkai Star Rail. The fact that there's even a global passive in the game just gives them an excuse now if people accept it or spend a lot of money on the character that has the global passive. It just gives them the incentive that, yeah, this shit works. There's nobody that's having a problem with it, so let's put more of it in the game. Or in this case, oh, they're not complaining about the $80 to $90 price tag, so now let's make all of our games $80 to $90. Nintendo's getting away with it. Why can't we? It sets a dangerous precedent for the how games are gonna go, especially in a gaming landscape that we're in right now, where half the time the games that we be getting don't even be coming out complete. Back then, games used to be cheaper, and they came complete, like on a disc. You didn't have to worry about anything else. In fact, it used to be that when they made games, once it was on the discs, that was it. No updates, no nothing. That's how it was. It was either good or it wasn't. But now we live in a time where it's like, oh, now we got post-patch support and everything, which is cool and all, but at what cost?
Why are you upset? You love spending more money. You told me that yesterday, remember? Don't you know I'm gaslighting you? And this is all besides the other premium stuff and subscriptions Nintendo has been shilling in the Direct.
Everything's more expensive, right?
Yeah, the accessories are more expensive than they've ever.
I need to know the price on these damn Joy-Cons, bro. The Joy-Cons on the Nintendo Switch already are $79.99. Now, I haven't had to replace mine, luckily, but I need to know the price on these, because, Lord, the price on these Joy-Cons is about to be crazy, I'm telling you. It's either they're going to keep the price the same, or these Joy-Cons are about to be $90 a piece. It's about to be wild out here.
Ben. The new Pro controller is $80. A left and right Joy-Con, that's $90.
Oh, well, there you go. I was right, $90. I don't know how I didn't remember that. There you go. $90 for a Joy-Con. Man, y'all better not break them shit. Y'all better not break your Joy-Cons. That's all I'm going to say. You might as well buy the Pro Controller off rip, because them Joy-Cons need to last. This is ridiculous.
$13 for the straps.
I'm here for my money.
Who's buying the straps?
Money.
Let's be real.
Obviously,
Who's
a
buying
big
that?
part of this backlash comes
Who
from
actually
the fact
buying
that Nintendo
that?
has always been the accessible, budget-friendly option
Not anymore,
for
bro.
gamers. Nintendo may not
Not
have
anymore.
state-of-the-art hardware, but their library is unquestionably top tier. They are the family-friendly brand, the dads and moms. If you're a dad or a mom who've got kids you gotta pay for and take care of and send to school, you're gonna want the cheapest, most convenient thing if you want to.
See, like, that's why I was talking about. Original price for, Xbox Series S and the PS5 was $500 right off rip. And that's before tax. Versus the Nintendo Switch 2, obviously, $450. That's why I said the Switch 2 itself isn't the problem, it's the games and how they're trying to sell them. Because the Nintendo Switch on its own, if you buy it retail, it's $300. If you weren't buying from the scalpers.
Obtain some semblance of those youthful hobbies you used to have. Look at you becoming a parent. Look at this guy, he reproduced. What a
Yeah,
dork.
no, we didn't. We don't got kids around here right now. What we talking about? We solo out this bit. What were we talking about, bro? What kids? Where they at? Frick, did I accidentally spawn somebody here? But I hope not. I'm pretty sure I didn't, because I haven't left the house outside from work. So, yeah, what we talking about?
I'm so lonely.
For a lot of families, when they look at $500 for the game of Mario Kart, I think you're gonna have we have a Nintendo Switch at home situation.
But
Yeah.
once Nintendo starts pushing this
They're gonna be like, "Hey, I want the Nintendo Switch too." Parents about to look at that price, be like, "Hey, we gotta switch at home."
$80 price tag for these premium Switch 2
Wild.
games. Yar har fiddle-dee-dee, new piracy techniques.
Yeah,
are
here we
all
go,
right
bro.
with me.
Freaking
Now,
everybody
if
become
Nintendo
Luffy.
is able to
Everybody about to
get
become
away with
Luffy.
these $80, $90 price tags, no doubt Xbox and PlayStation and the competition are going to match that. They're going to adopt these higher price tags for more and more games.
Exactly.
I'm not sure if it's 100% confirmed that physical copies are going to cost $90, but if true, fuck you. Why? What, you want to have a shelf of games? You want to physically own it so you can look at that shelf and figure out what game to play? No, stupid. You want a digital library of games that you buy that you end up forgetting you have. Despite how cool the console might be, the things I'm seeing that I love about it, Nintendo is kind of shooting themselves in the foot by setting these price precedents.
Yeah,
but who
they need to lower
is
it
entirely to
immediately.
blame? Because I don't understand.
They need to lower it
I
immediately.
don't get you.
What Nintendo's doing is basically throwing their weight around because they can. That's all this is. Is like, hey, we got this new console, 1080p. You know, their first actual HD quality games out here. And they're throwing their weight around and seeing what they can get away with. Me personally, I'm going to wait it out and see what happens. Because you already know, first things first, the scalpers are going to be on this before anybody else. They about to buy up every Nintendo Switch 2 on the block and then try and sell them for like $1,000. So I'm going to wait it out anyways. Just to see what happens. But either way, it's crazy out here.
I don't get you. Don't get you no more.
Excuse me, Nintendo's biggest fanboy here. Okay, Actman, gamers are stupid. They don't understand, all right? Adjusted for inflation, this console is cheaper than previous Nintendo consoles. Games are cheaper adjusted for inflation than they were back in the 80s.
Yeah, but you also got to keep in mind that, you know, games back then, well, the economy wasn't, you know, garbage until like 2008. But even then, games also didn't have microtransactions and other stuff that you could buy inside those games. So yes, so all games back then are cheaper. Games now, you have to buy the game and then you got to buy the in-game stuff on top of that. Like, games now are way more expensive than they were back in the past. Even if you adjust for inflation, bro, it's not even close. Like, take the average free-to-play game that makes millions upon millions of dollars, like Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, you know, Aether Gazer, freaking Zelda Zone Zero, you know, Punishing Gray Raven, Woo-Wah, you know, Withering Waves, aka, like, bruh, it's a whole new market now compared to in 1998.
These gamers are stupid. It doesn't make sense, Actman.
You know something? You're right.
Video games are
also, there wasn't a bunch of tariffs flying around either.
They are subject to inflation over time, but most publishers for a very long time were too afraid to raise the cost of a brand new game past $60. And it was $65, and then it was $70. But they found ways to monetize games in other ways, which we've talked about maybe once or twice on this channel. And the rest is history. As the co-founder of Costco once said, "If you raise the price of the hot dog, I will fucking kill you." This describes the sentiment among gamers around the $60 price tag. It's kind of something that's just etched
They better
into
not
our
touch
brain.
them
New
Costco
game
hot
comes out.
dogs.
Do I have $60? Like, can I afford it? It's been ingrained in our heads for so long that any increase seems insane. Because we've also been dealing with loot boxes, battle passes, paid progression systems, and a bunch of other shit we don't need to get into. Okay, so let's be real. I mean, you know, with GTA 6 around the corner, I'm sure Rockstar is.
Nah, bro, they're trying to drop GTA 6 for $100. They try and drop that shit for $100, bro. I guarantee it. I guarantee they're gonna try and drop that shit for $100. And if they do, yeah, forget about it. I ain't that big of a GTA fan to be doing that.
Going to stick with $60 price?
Fuck no, bro. They out here trying to make you drop
Now, let's put on
$100 on that shit, bro.
So
the economy is getting
cooked.
cooked.
Let's start with the numbers. I like numbers because they don't lie. Thanks to the user.
Let's look at some graphs.
He has calculated the inflation-adjusted price for each Nintendo console, and it's really not that crazy. The Switch 2 isn't middle of the road, but it's a little bit higher than that. It's still not the max, and it's not anywhere close to PS5 Pro's, what, $700?
Yeah, $700. I don't know who buying
I'm
that.
I'm gonna throw some numbers up on screen of what gives. Basically, adjusted for inflation, the median income of a household in the US has barely gone up since 1985. House prices, meanwhile, have skyrocketed.
Skyrocketed, man.
What does this
Through
mean?
the roof.
It means people don't have...
You used to be able to buy a house with some fucking... You used to be able to buy a house with some peanuts and a sandwich back then, bro. Now, you gotta be damn near a millionaire. It's crazy out here. If you didn't get your house out of that... If you didn't get your house after the 2008 crash, like if you didn't weather that storm, and then afterwards, you know, get the house before the prices went and shot away to the freaking moon, you're cooked. And that means that anybody basically who was a millennial or a boomer had a limited time if they didn't have a house already to get that. And if you're Gen Z, you're just fucked. You just fucked off for it. Like the house is already $1 million. You're like, if you weren't working in the womb with a 401k and all that, you were basically just fucked off the rip. That's how that went. Like my grandparents, they bought this house for like, I'm pretty sure around 70, 80k. These days, people be trying to call to get them to sell their house, and this shit is like worth 500, 600k now. It's crazy.
Disposable income.
Not enough cash, stranger.
That's why they're pissed. It's pretty simple. When more and more people start living paycheck to paycheck, then non-essentials like video games and
I'm about to say, yeah, no, everybody too busy trying to survive out here. We don't got time to be buying new consoles. The only reason I was even able to do so is because I work in the military. So they pay for a lot of shit that normally outside of the military, if you weren't in the military, you'd be paying for, like healthcare and whatnot. That's the only reason I was able to get what I got, you know. But at the same time, you know, the military, you gotta sacrifice a lot of shit too. So, you know, there's a trade-off.
Hobbies become just that, non-essential. You will own less and you will be happy. Not to mention the incoming tariff sales tax that we're adding. Why do I have to talk about tariffs? Why can't you just let me be excited for a video game console?
It's cooked, man. Come on, let's get it over with.
Real-world politics could potentially drive up the cost of the Switch 2, and therefore I have to fucking talk about it. In a worst-case scenario estimates I've seen, the cost of the Switch 2 could be increased by 50%.
Oh, hell nah, bro. What? Right, I'm telling you right now, if the Switch 2 goes up to $450 to $600 because of these tariffs, nobody buying that shit. Nobody.
Again, that's probably worst case scenario, but
bro, imagine the scalpers looking at that shit, be like, "Oh shit, tariffs." Yeah, you know, your Switch 2, if you want to get it early, or if you want to get it and you can't find one, it's like $1,200. No.
It says something that I feel like I have to prepare for that reality. Now, what has Nintendo done to prepare for these tariffs? Well, thankfully something. At the very least, they've started to stockpile Switch 2 consoles in the US, numbering about 350,000. So at the very least, the Switch 2s that are in the United States will be sold at the $450 margin.
Oh.
Assuming. Some people have theorized that the cost is
we're not cooked then.
Into account. Upon looking at some recent articles, this is probably more likely, but who really knows what's gonna happen?
Alright, let me look at this. After a shocking report made headlines yesterday suggesting an inbound price hike on the Switch 2, DFC intelligence, yada 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 yada, there might be a price jump in retail at all, yada 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 yada. Oh, they're talking about hardware's price increase applied in the next 2 years. That's still crazy. Yeah, that's still crazy. In the case of the Switch 2, we believe that 20% increase was already baked into the $450 price. Okay. And if they do, don't expect it to be 20%. Oh man, these
Nintendo has
can we
updated
just
GameStop saying that they're removing pre-orders for the Switch 2 to assess the potential impact
that's
of
smart.
the tariff sales tax.
That's smart, because it'd be pretty stupid if people were to pre-order the console and then that shit just shoots up to like $500, $600. So good on GameStop. That's like the one positive thing they've done in the last couple of years.
And evolving market conditions. This uncertainty is only going to spark further panic and demand once pre-orders are reopened and once consoles are being loaded onto shelves, especially amongst the hardcore Nintendo enthusiasts who would be willing to sacrifice their firstborn child to get one of these things on the release night. with enough panic and demand, you know who comes back? Everyone's favorite sequel, everyone's favorite businessman.
The scalpers. Yes, sir.
With uncertainty of how
Yes,
much
sir.
this is going to cost.
Yes,
it's gonna be
sir.
quite for scalpers, I would imagine. So
Oh man, they're scalping the shit out of the Pokemon company right now. If you look at Pokemon cards right now, the scalpers are out here making bank off of prismatic evolutions, man. Straight bank off of the prismatic evolutions. They're getting their asses handed to them by destined rivals, though. Bro, scalpers right now are going so crazy over these Pokemon cards that they're out here, or at least they were, out there camping in front of the Pokemon centers that they'd have inside stores to buy out the whole entire thing and then try and sell it on eBay for $1,000+ bucks, bro. It's crazy out here. Like, these dudes are shameless.
that's another thing to look forward to. So we have no idea if the $450 price tag is going to...
I swear to God, if I see any of y'all buying that shit for fucking $800 to $1,000 on fucking eBay, unless you're a millionaire, and even then, hell nah, bro. Like, bro, these scalpers need to learn. These scalpers need to learn, bro. But then again, I already have a secret spot, so I ain't got to worry about the scalpers. Where I live, it's just a bunch of old people, so I ain't got to worry about it. The scalpers ain't getting nothing.
stick. All we can be certain of is uncertainty. When people are confused, they get angry. It's really that simple. Regardless, this is going to be a bloodbath for people's wallets and bank accounts.
Oh, yeah.
Gamers are more irate this time around because video games have always been an escape. I remembered of that Modern Warfare 2 video, how gamers dealt with the recession.
Oh my God.
So many people already strapped for cash, they feel like they can't even afford the latest and greatest escape from life and reality. So that's most of the bad. Now, let's move on to the direct.
Shit, with an $80 to $90 price tag, I might be able to buy one Switch 2 game every 2 months and afford it without breaking the bank.
So,
or going
I think
crazy.
This is what also makes it a difficult pill to swallow, is that this new Mario Kart looks fucking amazing. All right,
it does.
They added skating. What is this? Jet Set Radio Future? What is Tony Hawk gonna be a playable
they
character?
added some pretty
And
crazy
wall
stuff,
jumps
bro.
In a kart racer? Nintendo always finds ways to innovate on franchises that you wonder, like, well, what more could you do with it?
I think this might be the farthest they can go.
Running out of characters because now we're getting hyped for.
Yeah, no, I'm about to say they're running out of ideas for characters. Everything else, they're good, but character-wise, they're running out of ideas at this point. Hey, I wouldn't mind seeing some, anime characters in there, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't mind seeing a Goku, a Naruto, an Ichigo, some Shonen MCs up in there. I really wouldn't mind it.
Cow? But from like Moo Farms?
The
There's a reason
the Kira
Nintendo
slide.
opened with Mario Kart World. It's because Mario Kart 8 sold 75 million copies. No doubt, Mario Kart World is going to be a Switch 2 exclusive to drive sales to the console. It's a good strategy. The maps look great. The idea of being able to go off the track and race to the next race and just fuck around with your buddies, that's very appealing to me. Mario Kart World looks like a big W. What's next?
Introducing Game Chat.
It's taken Nintendo 23 years to catch up to Xbox Live.
Yeah.
Nintendo is such a weird company because they're always behind on some trends, but way ahead of the curve on others. They're always at the peak.
Bro, that game chat's about to be fucking... They're not ready, bro. They're not ready.
Video game development prowess, but when it comes to like something like voice chat, like, well, how does this work? Again, that family-friendly brand image, well,
it's gone.
Voice chat on a Nintendo console?
It's cooked.
What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Birmingham, if you want the fucking brawl, come down,
it's cooked.
Come on, mouse, and I'll break your fucking legs.
I love how Nintendo always introduces these social features in the most, whimsical, childlike, innocent...
Yo, they know damn... I don't know, maybe they are that naive. There's no way, bro. I mean, they haven't had voice chat ever. They've never had voice chat, I guess, but man, they about to find out. With this, they about to find out.
Meanwhile, I'm crippled by years of Xbox Live PTSD.
Xbox Live
so
is
here's the bad
freaking...
news. You're gonna have to pay to use Game Chat. Now, I'll give them credit. Game Chat looks like it has much more applicability than something like Discord would have, where you can actually, like in Mario Party, see
Honestly, I'm gonna be real. Me personally,
the facial expressions of your friends.
I mean, you're gonna need it to play online anyways.
That's gonna be.
Here's the thing: you're gonna need voice chat. I mean, you're gonna need the Nintendo membership online just to play online anyway. So unless you don't want to play online, then the voice chat doesn't matter. At that point, just use Discord. It's not that big of a loss. And honestly, the way that then Discord chats be looking compared to the, Switch, I'd rather be on Discord no how if I didn't care about that. But cool feature, but yeah.
Highly important to me. It's a huge piece of shit. So on top of the $450, $80 for the game, now they want you to pay a subscription fee to play the game online.
It shouldn't be a
to
thing.
Be able to use game chat. 2 separate subscriptions. I will say having a 10-month free period is great.
And there's this.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a blessing.
What is it? That stench. I've smelled it before.
Yeah, the
Your
Xbox
voice is
360
recognized by a
Connect, bro.
microphone built into the system. It can pick up your speaking voice clearly, even from a distance.
They are bringing the Kinect back. You know what that means? It means you and your friends are going to be witnessing god-tier levels of echo.
When it's noisy around you, your voice will still come through clearly.
Bullshit. Ain't no way Nintendo is coming into the voice game chat this late and it's just gonna work. What Switch 2 screen share will look like?
Oh yeah.
Probably. The fact that
yeah.
they're showing the screen share be a bit laggy indicates that that's probably what it's gonna look like.
The screen share
as
is
opposed
cool.
To,
we're not
perfect
using
in this
that.
presentation with the smoke
It's
and
gonna be the
mirrors, and
voice
then
chat more
people
than
buy
anything.
the console, they use the screen share and it looks like shit. But this whole camera feed thing, I feel like is absolutely going to create some viral marketing for the Switch camera. So what I like about the Switch 2 is that Nintendo...
Here's my thing. Once again, I said it in my video. It's like, bro, are we going to be able to use our own camera or do we have to use the Switch camera? Because I have a camera sitting right over here that I'm not using currently because of the fact that I'm using a VTuber model, as you're seeing right now. So if I can use that camera for the Switch 2, okay, are we good?
Is refining their original concept and making genuine improvements in pretty much every way. From 120 FPS on handheld, that's kind of
120
I think we're
FPS.
past the era of game consoles making these huge graphical leaps with new generations. But the Switch performed obnoxiously well despite how underpowered it was compared to the Series X and PS5. Everything from like the size of buttons to the magnetic grips. My controllers used to fuck up and couldn't connect on the sides, so... And Joy-Cons that can be used as a mouse. It's gimmicky
I'm
stuff
never doing
like this that really is gonna make for some hilarious Mario Party minigames.
My current location is actually inside the game itself.
Then there's Nintendo Switch Welcome Tour. It's me...
I'm never buying that. I'm never buying that. That first of all, this shouldn't even be... I don't know why there's even a price on this right now. I'm pretty sure this is about to be like worth $50 to $60, bro, just to be able to do this. And all it does is give you information about the Switch, bro. I'm not buying this. This should be free.
My God. But it seems to be
This
playing
shit should
off
be
of
free,
like
bro.
Astro's Playroom, which was a great game and a fun tech showcase
Should
for
be
PS5.
free.
And guess what? That was free. This is not.
Yeah.
What?
$10,
This
really?
doesn't even look like a video game.
Bruh.
It looks like a series of tutorials. Why would I pay for this?
No.
Like, come on, man. Give us a free game with the console if you're gonna charge
That should be
$80.
free.
Give us a
That
free
should be
game or
free
two. Like,
with the
remember
console,
Wii Sports
easily.
that came with the console. I do think it's cool that the mouse controller stuff seems like they're still utilizing that old Wii remote functionality, but it's cool. Now it looks like they're also doing upgrade games, you know, what Sony is doing with the PS5. Where
Yeah, that's crazy.
Reselling the same game, but, you know, maybe a little upgrade fee for some pretty minute improvements. These are not all that impressive to me. Metroid Prime 4, oh my God, finally. Another game we could talk about that we're actually excited for. Metroid fans have been eaten like kings recently, and Prime 4 is likely going to be no exception. It's definitely the right call to release this on Switch and Switch 2, since it was announced before the Switch 2. Feel like a real slap in the dick if it were otherwise.
that'd be crazy.
I'm hyped for this. Pokemon Legends. Well, it's a massive improvement from Scarlet and Violet, which, you know, looked a little worse than
oh my God.
N64 games.
Yeah.
Pokemon has finally gotten to GameCube level quality. Are you kidding me?
Which is crazy.
Not impressed at all with Pokemon.
Crazy,
Then there was
man.
this oddball announcement for wheelchair robot basketball. Give it to me, okay? The sports genre side of gaming has been so static, repetitive, and boring for years. We need stuff like NBA Jam or NFL Blitz or wheelchair basketball.
NFL
or
Blitz
Rocket
was
League.
freaking
This
fire.
looks fun. On top of this, Nintendo is partnering with a ton of third-party studios to bring games like Hogwarts Legacy, Elden Ring, Street Fighter 6, Hades 2 to the Switch 2. Also, I did not realize that Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 were getting remade because it doesn't say it's a remake in the title there.
Good old GameCube logo.
Ah, yes, the long
Good
coveted
old
GameCube
GameCubes, bruh.
emulator, which you can access for free.
Yeah.
Using certain means. You
Yeah.
like dolphins? I like dolphins. Yo, Soul Calibur 2? Okay, I fucks with that.
Get ready to experience F-Zero GX.
Could it be? An F-Zero acknowledgement after so many years. F-Zero GX. So this is a pretty decent lineup for the GameCube emulator. What would be interesting to see is if we'll be able to play these games online.
Oh my god!
Yep.
To close out this show, Nintendo dropped 3 bombshells. Dusk Bloods, a new game from Software. People are calling it Bloodborne 2, and it looks incredible. And Kirby Air Riders, unexpected. Sakurai is directing it. There's a lot of racing games showed off in this direct.
They had to, bro, because Sonic showed off their racing game. They had no choice. They was like, damn, Sonic got a racing game that's coming out soon called Sonic Worlds or Portals or something like that. It's like Worlds, Portals, whatever the first. We gotta double it, bro. We gotta double it.
But Kirby Air Ride always felt like such an incredibly fun game that just didn't have a whole lot of content at the end of the day. That game truly deserved a sequel, and I'm happy to see that it's getting one. But now it's time for the big bananas. The big bananas.
Yep. Donkey Kong, man.
Oh my fucking
Donkey Kong
This
is
game
back.
Looks like it's gonna be the Mario Odyssey of Donkey Kong games. Just the way that you can break the map
Everything.
and
Like, you can just destroy
it and
everything.
become a monkey.
You can literally
I don't know
destroy
what
everything.
You want me to say? It just this looks like they're bridging the gap between Donkey Kong 64 and all the recent Donkey Kong Country games, which I could not be more excited for. But where is Diddy? Where is Diddy?
Oh,
No, not
God.
him. Also, I like how they showed just like 3 seconds of Silk Song after people have been losing their minds waiting for it. So here's where I'm at with Switch 2. The games look great. The improvements to the console itself are much appreciated. That stuff is important to me. But the increased price of games over time is going to add up. And I'm worried
It's
about
gonna
that.
more than add
Why are
up.
gamers-
So let's say you buy the Nintendo Switch 2. Let's say they don't increase the price. So it's $450 if you don't buy from a scalper, right? So you need some games, right? If you're gonna buy physical, because you want to buy physical, it's gotta easily at least minimum $90 plus tax wherever you're at. That's easily at least $100. So you're gonna be buying, let's say, 450. So buying 5 games. 6 games minimum is getting you. That's $1,000, bro. For 6 games plus the PS5 plus the online, if you have any games that you want to play online, $1,000. If you want to buy 9 games off rip. If you don't have any games that you want to port over from your Nintendo Switch over to your Switch 2. That is insanity. That is insanity. Like, at that point, I don't know. I would say might as well get a PC. You can get more games on Steam that usually are on sale for a cheaper price than that. But then again, you'd have to buy the PC, which is usually $1,000. But even then, if you just buy a low-end PC that can run some games, you might not even have to do that. It's crazy.
upset with the Switch 2? Well, it's a combination of things, but it's pretty simple.
Like, they better help them, yeah.
Like I said, folks in the U.S. don't have a whole lot of disposable income right now. And when times are tough, everybody needs an escape. If you can afford that escape, but if you can't, then you're just shit out of luck. If people...
Or you could just, you know, not buy the Switch 2 and stick with your regular Nintendo Switch. Or if you don't have a Nintendo Switch, PS5, Xbox, and if you don't have any of those, Game Boy, you know, Game Boy Advance, you know. Or if you don't have any of those, I don't know, play outside. Oh, shit. I know that's a foreign concept, but I don't know. I definitely agree with them, though. Like, this, the prices are getting way out of whack.
feel like they can't even afford to escape, then that's a pretty worrying sign. And it's not so much a statement about Nintendo's prices, but rather the cost of living that people are dealing with. I thought the presentation was fun, colorful, creative. There's a lot of things to be excited for.
Cost of living now is actually
Nintendo is certainly
insane.
making some questionable choices, and we'll see how it plays out. But those are my thoughts.
Honestly, I'm gonna be real. The tariffs. We got to see how this is gonna play out because of the tariffs, man. Because they're fucking everything up. That's how that goes. I'm gonna be real with you. The tariffs are fucking everything up. We'll have to see how it goes because once again, it looks like they've stockpiled. But even then, okay, we beat the tariffs. Okay, now we gotta beat the scalpers. If it ain't one thing, it's another, man. But either way, you know, great video. I'll leave a link down below. You know, and I want to know what your thoughts are. You know, are you buying the Switch 2? You're not buying it? You know, make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.